Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Liam Rose. I'm an author, mentor, life coach, motivational speaker, evangelist, musician, and activist. In SGR podcast, I've been sharing this podcast to learn more about the SGR company, which stands for Star Gang Rockstars, to learn about music, media, and entertainment, and to help people to find spiritual music, faith, spirituality, and religion. So, within this episode of the podcast and the audio, we're going to be sharing a new message which is called The Journey of an Independent Spiritual Musician. So, when you decide that you want to make spiritual music and conscious music for fans, followers, and listeners, there's a journey to the spiritual musician. So, number one, you've got to know who you are first. So discovering who you are. So your gifts, your talents, your skills and abilities. Finding who you are. Finding what type of music do you want to create in spiritual music, and what type of genre do you want to pursue in the music. So it could be hip hop, it could be rap, it could be jazz, it could be R&B, it could be soul, it could be gospel, it could be Christian music. So knowing who you are as a musician is always the first step in the journey of a spiritual musician. The second step is basically to start recording spiritual music and conscious music. Now, your music should be influencing and inspiring the listeners, the followers, the fans in spiritual music. So it should be conscious, it should be storytelling, talking about spiritual change, helping other people, stories about your life experiences, and things that you want the listeners to learn from you through the music. Now, you'll need a studio to record spiritual music, and you'll need, a microphone, headphones, laptop, computer, hard drives to back up the MP3 files and the WAV files, and also the music production software so you can get Pro Tools, Fruity Loops, or FL Studio, Reason, Logic. There's a few other ones as well, GarageBand, and other music production softwares. So once you have that set up, you want to start producing your music, so creating the productions of the music, and then also creating the songs. So that's all of the recording process as a spiritual musician, and you'll be making spiritual music to inspire humanity, the animals, and the universe. Number three, stage three, will be to release your music. So you want to release your music online to music websites. So it could be Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Tidal, any music streaming service that provides music. So once you start recording your music as a spiritual musician, you want to release your music. There's normally music distributors that are able to send your music to streaming stores. So you want to use like DistroKid, TuneCore, CD Baby, Ditto Music, and other music distributors to distribute your music onto the streaming stores. This will help to build your fan base, this will help to build your following, and this will help to build your listeners. And obviously, you really want to use YouTube as well to promote your music, to market your music, and to advertise your music. Very important. And then number four, stage four, is to start just, doing live performances, sharing your music to listeners, to followers, to fans. Start to perform in concerts, do shows, do concerts in spiritual music, and make your music as best as you can, because as a spiritual musician, we're very conscious about the music that we're making, and we're very mindful that this is going to help a lot of people in their journey through listening to music. So by spreading your inspiration and your motivation through your spiritual music, and by doing all the stages. Number one, stage one, knowing who you are. Number two, recording your music. Number three, getting your music on streaming services. And then number four, doing live concerts, shows, and performances. This will help to build you as a musician in the journey as a spiritual musician. So these are the four main ways of the journey of a spiritual musician. So knowing who you are is the most important thing as a spiritual musician. No musician cannot record or create music if they don't know who you are. So the way I normally help spiritual musicians learn who they are is to by basically saying that you need to do 5 spiritual practices: prayer, meditation, mindfulness, walking, journaling. By doing the 5 spiritual practices, learning about who you are, journaling your thoughts, your ideas, your dreams, your desires, your life, and then processing your life experiences, you will help to learn more about yourself and learn more about being a spiritual musician. And then recording process is very important. You want to record the best spiritual music you can. Be authentic, be yourself, be 100% real, and share exactly what you can through storytelling, through your songs, through the production, and through the music. Then you want to market, advertise, and get your music on streaming stores through a music distributor, through CD Baby, TuneCore, DistroKid, or Ditto Music. And then once you've done that, you want to do live shows, live performances, and live music. So this is really the journey of a spiritual musician. Obviously, as a spiritual musician, you're more spiritual and faithful, so you want to be mindful of the music that you create, especially if listeners and followers and fans are listening to you. So just be mindful of what you share. Be spiritual, be faithful, connect to Jesus Christ, Jehovah, and Buddha in your faith and in your religion, and create the best spiritual music you can. So thank you for listening to this podcast and audio. I hope it helps the spiritual musicians that want to go on this journey. And take care now. Goodbye now. Thanks. Bye.